what's going on? This is Aaron Hilliard from Mushroom Wonderland. And I'm in this like crazy little cabin somewhere on the rainy Washington coast with Alan Rockefeller. We're at the 2022 Fungi Symposium.
It's really nice. I mean, it's super rainy outside, so we'll just be doing a bunch of microscopy today.
Perfect.
Welcome to Mushroom Wonderland.
He's going to give us a look at these microscopes that are on this table here. So we got several different types.
Yeah, we got something really cool to look at today. This is Terana coreulea, and this has been in my taco box since I was in Missouri at the NAMA 3 weeks ago. So,
what did you call it?
Terana coreulea.
Okay.
And this was found by Gordon Walker. And so it's this log that's just covered in this bright blue crust fungus. And so I got a few chips of it. And so first we're going to use this dissecting scope to get some really nice thin sections of it. And then the differential interference contrast microscope to get some cool pictures of it.
Cool. So these are two different types of microscopes here. You called this one a
dissection scope.
Okay, also known as a stereoscope, is that right?
Yeah, stereo because it has two objectives, one on each side. So what you're seeing in the eyepieces is different, and so you get real 3 dimensions. So it's really good for cutting things, manipulating objects, but it's not very much magnification. So it's basically like a stereo hand lens. And then for the high magnification, we use the compound scope over there, and that shines light through the sample. So it's for really thin samples, we can get a whole lot more magnification.
It should be barista one, and that's what I would use. The original. Got it.
It's super cozy in here, though. It's like a crazy, cozy little cabin. The floor is all slanted. It's
really noticing that.
It's not the place where you would expect there to be like a lot of science going on.
No. So I'll just grab a slide here. Just have the light coming from the top. So here's a brand new razor blade, and we're just going to cut ridiculously thin slices of this and get them onto the slide.
Well, there's also some of these other styles.
It's not very easy to see anything. I need a bright light.
Do you use a brand new razor blade for every mushroom?
I'll use it for about 10 cuts and then retire it for something else.
They go dull pretty quick then from a little piece of fungal tissue.
They just need to be exceptionally sharp,
right,
in order to give you a cut that's thin enough.
So it's pretty dim in this cabin. He's using his flashlight on his cell phone to try to get a better...
Gosh.
So this dissection microscope used just for what its name is, dissecting things.
Just for preparing the slides. So the general rule is if you can see your sample, it's way too big. And so there's a couple almost invisible specks on here, which is perfect. There's no way you'll be able to see those with the camera, which means it might look really cool once we put it on the compound scope.
Cool. You're just like barely cutting it.
Yeah.
So the objective is to get it as super small as you can, is that right?
Yeah, if I'm lucky I can get some that are like 1 cell layer thick, and then they'll look really nice.
So you're just getting the very top tissue?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like a chunk of bark that it's growing on?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
High oak.
Okay.
And I'm going in here and finding the pieces that are too big. Basically anything I can see Keep throwing that away.
Okay, nice. This ones are pretty nice. Right behind you.
So how do you know there's something on the slide then? You just know, huh?
You can almost see them.
Oh.
So potassium hydroxide is a very strong base, and that will help rehydrate all of the hyphae and spores and everything in there.
Cool. KOH they call it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You can just order that on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for a little bottle of KOH.
Just making sure all of these little slices are in the KOH. And we'll let it sit there for a couple minutes to absorb the KOH, and that way we won't have any air bubbles when we put our cover slip on top. You can also just point your phone down through the eyepiece here. See if you can see anything that way.
Oh, let me back.
Let me focus this for you.
There it is.
There we go. Yeah, so you can see those are nice and thin.
Dang.
Be right back.
And how many times is this magnified under this? Not a lot.
This is a 1 times objective, and this eyepiece is 10, so it's 10 times bigger.
Where are your lines again?
Cool. All right, so there's the slide. There's his KOH solution with little tiny,
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay,
little tiny
perfect.
flakes. But they're pretty uniform slices, huh?
Yeah, I just used the tiny ones.
Cool. So he's got a cover slip here.
Just a cover slip.
Really thin piece of glass.
And I'm going to try to move this stuff kind of over towards the middle. And just put down that edge first and really slowly put it down.
You don't want to squish it all out the side, huh? Is that why you're going
The
slow like
most
that?
important thing is I don't want air bubbles to get trapped in there.
Okay.
So now I'm going to look in here because the air bubbles can be really tiny and really hard to see, but this is looking really promising. So I think that's probably pretty good.
Cool.
So
Is that KOH like bad to drip on your clothes or anything?
no, in fact, sometimes the bottle spills in my pocket, and I don't even notice till the next day when I go to use it, and it's gone.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like just salt water in a way.
I mean, it's when it's concentrated, it's more caustic than the world's strongest acids, but this is like 5%, so it instantly turns your skin into soap. So it is salt water, but it's very dangerous salt water when it's concentrated, but when it's diluted like this, it doesn't really do anything. So now I'm going to press down kind of hard on this cover slip, just to force everything into the same focal plane and kind of get it.
So you kind of smash it, huh?
Yeah, kind of smash it there. The next thing I'm going to do is paint some nail polish around the edge of this cover slip. And that will seal it in, so that way there's no currents flowing underneath the cover slip. And so that will keep everything in place and make it so the slide doesn't dry out after a few minutes.
Okay. Is there a reason why it blew?
No.
Okay.
That was his favorite nail polish.
And that was what was on sale at this market in Mexico. It was like 25 cents or something.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad color. It's better used for this than as fingernail polish, I think.
Yeah, probably. I always get the worst color,
Well, a
this
taste
neon yellow
question.
one. Whatever people don't want. And this thing is ridiculous. It's a 100-watt LED
Whoa.
that I glued to a block of aluminum. So it just sits right in front here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Custom. So what do you call this microscope? This is a...
So this is an Olympus BX41. And cool thing about it is that it has differential interference contrast prisms. So that means it has this prism below and this prism above. And it also has really nice objectives. It has Plan-Apo objectives.
Wow, there's a lot of objectives too, huh?
Yeah, I think there's maybe 5 on there.
Oh, they're cool.
Maybe
I was
6.
looking for it. Well, I have the big one back.
But I upgraded the high magnification objectives to the really nice ones, so that way when you zoom way in, you get nice clear images.
Is this a pretty expensive setup, or does the average
Yeah,
Joe
it is.
get this?
No, I spent $5,000 on the microscope and about $10,000 upgrading it, so
Okay.
it's definitely worth it, but not cheap.
You have to be dedicated to the art for sure.
Yeah.
Shaking the oven. Oh, yeah.
So it looks like the KOH is turning this green, and it's so pretty when it's blue, so I think we should do another one and mount it without KOH.
Cool, yeah, see the difference.
It's really smooth.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, feel free to answer or not, but a lot of people in comments of the other videos are hating on your last name.
Oh yeah.
Is that your last name?
No.
Okay. So there you go, people. Settle down. They're like, I don't trust anybody named Rockefeller.
No, it's not a good idea to use your real name on the internet.
Okay. There you go, for the record, people. So you start with a pretty big magnification and then work your
I
way,
start with the lowest magnification.
or I mean the lowest,
You were so
yeah.
patient with me though last night.
Like a 40 or whatever, or like a,
Well, I'll start with 4.
4.
And there's 10 up here, so it is 40.
Okay. And why is there 2 different sets of eye
This is called front to back bridge, so you see it's the same thing through both sets of eyepieces, so you can teach. But I really just use this thing as the camera mount, so you see the same image up in the camera.
So you got a camera mounted up. Is this the camera you use for all the photography that we see online and stuff?
Yeah, it's the same camera I use in the field. So
Cool, so it just plugs right in.
Nikon Z7. I just have this remote shutter switch here, so I can just press the button and take a picture or whatever you're seeing through there.
Cool. That's quite a setup.
But I'm definitely going to make another slide because that green is not super pretty.
Can we see it in there?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't know about this camera, if that'll see it. So we're doing it again here, huh?
Yeah.
Is it better to use wet or dry mushrooms?
Oh, dry mushrooms slice much thinner. Wet mushrooms is like trying to slice thin slices of a cube of Jello.
Right.
There's just no way to slice them thin.
So you let a mushroom dry, like if you're excited about one and you want to race home and put it on the microscope, but you'll dry
I'll
it
dry
first?
it on the way home, or I'll like put it on a light bulb and just dry a little tiny piece real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, I've seen the dashboard of your car. It looks like you do a lot of mushroom drying up there.
Yeah.
Does that work? Will those mushrooms still be viable for clones and stuff like that? I mean,
Yeah.
they're research grade, dashboard dried.
Yeah.
Nice. Because
My
I've sent
dashboard's
in.
full of mushrooms right now.
Yeah. That'd be cool to do like a what's on Alan's dashboard
Little
episodes.
segment. Yeah. It's full of sarcodon right now.
What's your favorite species of mushroom to look at under a microscope?
This might be it. It's hard to find anything better than coreulea.
Oh, okay.
But the first time I looked at it under a microscope was only a couple days ago.
This is the cabin to be in if you're a mycophile. There's Larry Evans and Graham Steinrich and Alan Rockefeller and Kirsten. Oh my gosh, starstruck.
I want to try out the other magnification.
Alright, go ahead.
There to
No, there's no way to break that thing. You spin them around.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you're dealing with maybe
It's too
You had her. That was good.
Thank you, John. I've been educated for a while.
Very cool.
It was obvious. It was natural.
So there is the 20 objectives, so that'll give us 200 times. We probably really want to go right to 400 though.
Oh, hi, Lizard.
Yeah. So let's take your left hand and put it on the fine focus here.
Okay.
Take your right hand and put it here and here.
Okay.
And that's all the controls you need. I should probably adjust this a little bit. About there.
So, do I see really cells?
You're seeing a lot of hyphae in there.
Hyphae.
And you might see some spores and basidia.
Yeah. Wow.
It's mostly that that cool blue hyphae that's kind of turned green because of KOH.
Yeah.
Back in here.
So certain lenses on compound microscopes require oil on the slide. That's what Alan just put on there, right?
Yeah, on this one I got 2 oil objectives. My 40 and my 100 requires oil.
Oh, okay.
Immersion oil, but in a pinch vegetable oil works.
Okay.
I'm setting up the differential interference contrast now, so I'm rotating the bottom prism until it gets as dark as possible, and then rotate this top prism until it's kind of like a gray background, and yeah, that looks nice.
So what are you doing with the lights?
So we're going to try to get a picture of this thing. Can I borrow your Gibbolula for a second?
Yes. Are you just gonna leave it the way it is? Or okay, yeah. Jack just wants to photograph it later, so I can just make sure that it gets.
Looks like it's loose in there.
I think so.
Maybe just stuck to a leaf.
He must have put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
go
did.
for it. I guess this is his.
He was going to leave it out. I told him it might be best
That
to
is a good
leave it
idea.
so it stays all plump and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so here it is.
Let me go charge my.
What is this? Oh, that cordyceps thing?
Yeah, we're thinking, we call it Gibbolula for now.
Okay, we'll see
It's like a little spider that's encased in some.
Yeah, so it's a spider they found under a fern. So.
I was there. I have the footage of that.
Oh, nice.
This is still good.
From the field to the scope. There we go.
Tomorrow.
Right here. That is a small spider that was engulfed by a Gibbolula, which is a spider parasitizing fungus. And I don't find them much, and I look a lot. So I'm very happy.
Spider that got.
Munch. Let's see if we can find.
May I see?
Yes, a fungus.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hold
absolutely.
it still. Maybe I can
Okay.
zoom in. Let's see what. There. Dang, you got a sharp eye.
Yeah, that's
Like, it's all. If you come to my presentation of niches, holy snarky. Kendra, like a wizard who has. You have really good eyes. You do! She found one immediately after being mentioned that they're around. So you can actually see spider there. This is a spider. Look at its legs. Parasitized.
practice is done.
Oh, so you can use a compound scope like this, kind of like a.
I've never done it before, but I don't see why not.
Huh.
Oh, that's a little too much magnification, though. I would have to stitch together like 15, 20 images. Oh, it's beautiful, though. Let me try this smaller objective, a 2 times, and see if we can use that.
So this is actually a fungus that.
Oh yeah, this is gonna work.
Does it attack a live spider, or does the spider die and then the fungus goes on?
I don't know.
Really impossible.
This looks awesome. I wish I had a black background. I could probably find something black.
For something
Oh, I had some of the
Okay,
one
yeah, it fit right in there.
iteration. I just refilled
It
it.
is
Oh,
thin.
that looks nice with the black background.
Did I give
Okay.
you the?
I'm just gonna turn the exposure compensation down on this because we got a black background with a white thing.
That is really amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it up there, but in here, oh my gosh.
Okay, I gotta see too.
It's
Yeah, go ahead and sit
unbelievable.
down for a second.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Pop in. I just want to see how it looks under.
It has like
This is Lauren, right?
hundreds and hundreds tiny little
It's
white
like a-
mushrooms peeking out of
Oh,
the flakes
yeah.
and everywhere.
Feel free to change
Wow.
the focus.
It's like so amazing.
So you wouldn't know until you see it under the microscope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have it set to the high-speed shooting, and I have it at ISO 64, so that'll be a quarter-second exposure.
Share space is cool. Okay.
So you're gonna stack a bunch of images. It's gonna just trigger off
Yeah.
50 shots or
So
something.
I just focused at the top. Now I'm just gonna hold the button down. I'm just gonna pan all the way through.
There's another video on the channel where Alan talks about fungal photography and what this camera is doing exactly. So check that out. It's getting a little focus of every little spot on that spider.
It's like scanning a three-dimensional object.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta circle around it piece by piece.
Okay, so that was cool. Now I'm gonna do it one more time with the 4 times objective and just kind of zoom in on one little part of it. So we'll get more magnification, but just a little bit, little tiny piece of it. Like one of those stroma there. That's a good one.
So is that image coming live out of your microscope?
No, I threw the card in there.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
You're done with the stove? And you can turn it off if you want.
What happened?
The spider just got.
Oh no.
I laughed, and the wind
Oh,
must
blue.
have done it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it blew it this way maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it was cool.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Jack's
Kirsten.
gonna want it. So
Good job.
We're gonna have to find it.
But it must be somewhere. In the past.
I think I see it.
In there.
Yeah.
Oh, stir, we stirred it,
Is
right?
that it? Must be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. We put it.
Close
Put it
call.
away now.
Most people want to get rid of spiders. We
We're like "Please
needed to
come
get
back."
that.
Okay. No laughing at the microscope.
It's something that you don't normally have to think about, you know.
No, because it's not on a glass thing.
Yeah.
It just lays there.
So this is the process of Alan
I'm like so excited.
and his microscopy photos that we see.
I've done it a
So
million
there's the
times.
first one.
And it's
We'll
the
just take
habit.
all of them here.
But that's why we
Oh, so these are all the stacked images.
Yeah, but it's at least not so tiny that you can't find it. I mean, it's
So there's 90 of
visible,
them.
but
So they're all the same, but a different focus point, yeah?
Yeah. So I'll drag that into Helicon. This is our blue chanterelle over here.
Cool.
That's cool nodulous spores. Render, and now you'll see all the different parts coming into focus here.
Kind of merges all the photos into one
Mm-hmm.
one picture. Whoa, it's taking shape. This is the magic happening. Wow.
Yeah, some good detail. Kind of.
Yep, that's definitely a
exposure
spider.
Down a little bit.
Look at the hairs on its legs and everything.
I don't know if it's really better than what I would get with the camera, but.
Wow. Right.
I was still outside the shore.
Okay, this is starting
Yeah.
to look cool.
It was so warm still.
Yeah, you got it.
I
You're already
worked
on it.
outside.
That's the crust.
Yeah.
Later's probably fine, but just to account for the schedule.
Yeah, we're
Now,
trying to catch everybody up that way.
Yeah.
That's our goal. Cool.
You have a lot of, these are your mushroom samples laying here?
Yeah.
That's fine.
What are you going to do with all those? Look at them under the microscope?
Eat them.
Eat them. Okay.
Cold out there.
I don't know. Study them. I'm sneaking some off.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, those are those magic ones.
You might be able to find some magic ones in there. Throw them off.
it's beautiful.
It's a good color, right?
Biology, botany,
Yeah.
zoology,
Bright indigo.
What else?
That's
Yeah.
so pretty. Wow.
so that there's always people there learning.
Is that Maria?
I think so, yeah. And the Maria part glows in the dark.
That's awesome.
There's actually one that's like even better. I think it's this one here. So this is all bioluminescent mushrooms, and the whole thing glows.
Cool.
Same guy.
Yeah, same guy. Cool. Awesome.
You carry this microscope around with you
Yeah.
in the back of your car?
Uh-huh.
It's nice to be able to control that.
So you don't necessarily need a laboratory to do this, obviously. This is about the farthest from a laboratory you can get, right?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, I don't see any spores on this.
Right now I'm just kind of
It's supposed to be ellipsoid. I see
Yeah.
some clamp connections right there
Where?
in the middle.
I didn't see a clamp connection. Really?
Right there in the middle. I guess we'll zoom in when I'm done with the video.
Okay. You see just one.
They're actually pretty common in this sample.
Okay.
But most of the time they're kind of obscured by other hyphae.
Yeah.
But when you see the little bumps,
Yeah. Okay.
clamp.
Cool. Now that I know to look for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you know to look for them, you'll see them all over the place.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here has a question. Ask it.
We don't know what that is. And
you're
I
wondering
just
what
found
this
it on the
is?
side of the canal.
Oh, this is cool.
It's orange. I don't think that's Strobilurus.
No, it's not Strobilurus. It's probably Hygrophorapsis.
On the cone, tricking us.
Didn't someone find one on a cone the other day?
Oh, maybe.
Let's see. Let's shine your light back on this.
spruce cone.
Oh, really? Ah, Lauren's seen it.
That's cool, but less common.
Look at, he's looking at
Is that one yours, Chris?
That's Stella's.
Nice find
Oh,
stuff.
that one's, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is definitely Hygrophorapsis.
Hygrophorapsis.
Beautiful too. Here, you can see it.
I'm like,
My mom has one of these to look
very
at.
cool.
Suppose Chantal? Can we go down?
No.
Uh-huh. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, check it out, Jack. It looks cool. Oh, not anymore. I'll put it back.
I'm supposing that those bags are things to examine through the dissecting scope.
Yeah, here's a new slide. So I'll just clean this with my shirt because they're a little bit dusty.
Oh, look at this cute little one.
So.
Oh yeah, good.
Can you see it?
Yep.
That means it's too big, but we're going to do it anyway. So put a drop of water in it, and then a cover slip.
Who's us?
And if you hold this up to the light, you can see it's dirty, so I'm going to use my t-shirt to clean it. So now we carefully put the cover slip down, so we try not to get air bubbles in there. I think that worked. Then look through here, make sure there's no air bubbles. There is an air bubble.
That one's the butter one.
Yeah, and it's also just very different.
We're all just like,
What was that one?
it's like I'm like,
This was a lobster mushroom.
Is this one Winchester?
I know special.
That's a Hygrophorapsis.
Oh yeah.
What are those lights above?
Wow.
These guys? Little cherry tomatoes, I guess. I don't know.
Dang it, it's hard to do that.
So that's what really helps is if you take. Let me show you.
So the battery just lasts a
Battery lasts long.
You see it?
And I also, yeah, never.
What do you think?
I don't even know if my battery's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Is the computer working?
But the thing is, you have to, Jack, you see that?
It's the 21st.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's not on the computer right now.
That's how I help preserve it. Is I go through.
Pretty cool.
It's like, no, it's Saturday.
This one has a fancy dark field thing, but if you have a cheap scope, you can make a dark field adapter out of a piece of electrical tape and a microscope slide. Yeah, just check YouTube for DIY dark field, and there's all sorts of videos on it. It's basically blocking the cone of light in the middle, so the only light you see is light that hits it at a sharp angle.
The tongs are over there.
There's some up hanging over there.
I've seen the clown.
I think we had the same conversation where we're like, are these high germinating?
So right now Alan's looking at lobster mushroom under the microscope. Hypomyces lactiflorum with KOH on it, so it's
It
purple.
looks like it's like underwater or like in space or something. Space, yeah. Right? Cool. Yeah.
It looks like crystals.
I had a cup of coffee.
Small there. I wonder if I can zoom
I
in.
moved everything over there. I just like blue. And it really, I mean, it really helps you see
Yeah,
things.
some of the
So
spores
it's very
there.
helpful.
Oh yeah, so we got a spindle-shaped spore right there. Are those little oil droplets in there?
Kind of like make it harder
Yeah,
to
we
see
do have
certain
oil
things.
droplets.
But
This is of Hypomyces lactiflorum,
I
the
don't spend as much
lobster
time on
mushroom.
Microscopy as I
How much magnification is on there? 1,000?
400.
The Congo Red's cool too.
Wow.
It's just, I think
So your
it's
camera's zooming in that far. Look at that spore. That is really cool. So that's the spore from the parasite or from the host?
even
parasite.
KOH
Okay.
is nice.
Do the hosts still produce spores at the same time that the parasite is producing spores? No, one or the other.
Some of the cells might.
Because I've seen lobster mushrooms before half parasitized, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And so could it potentially be doing Rusula spores off one half and then Hypomyces on the other half? Yeah. And it's just germinating a whole new patch of lobsters. That's wild.
I don't really know why the dyes aren't really utilize. I guess it's like I said, kind of washes.
What is all that stuff moving around?
We should put some.
Maybe bacteria.
Okay. Wow. My microscope does not pick that stuff up.
Threw everything in the car. I have a big bin that makes it look like I have so much stuff in it. I think I have.
Beautiful.
We did another mount without KOH, so that's how we're getting our nice blue color.
Okay, so we did the first one had KOH. It was green.
Yep. And now we're able to see the true color.
Cool. Well, awesome. Thank you, Alan, for this little adventure in microscopy in this cozy little cabin on the coast. And,
Welcome.
appreciate it. We'll catch up with Alan on more videos, but just want to say thanks for watching and hit subscribe. Much love, everyone.